also, after her presentation, meron din from our own Kanata, Catherine Manasan, who will discuss the process and the requirements in applying para maging international students in Canada. All right. To start, our first presenter is Jamie Rojo. She is the school representative from Northern Lights College. Jamie?
Hello. Hi, thank you, Francis. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you, Francis and Catherine, for inviting me for Kanata to do this webinar, this presentation. I hope you guys can learn a thing or two, and not just about the college, but about studying in Canada overall. That can help, that can help you decide which way you want to go. If you decided to enroll to Northern Lights College, then I'm happy if that's the outcome. But if not, then that's okay. I'm here to provide you information that are valuable for you, especially if you're in the stage of gathering information. First off, let me share my screen real time. So I can share you my presentation. Okay, so as Francis mentioned earlier, my name is Jamie. I work for Northern Lights College. Okay, hindi po ako agent. Ang agent po namin si Kanata, sila Francis. Yan. So that's the relationship between the two. So that being said, I work very closely with them. Can help you with your application sa college. However, I cannot help you in terms of application for the visa application, okay? So anything about visa, team ni Francis yun. That's how it works for both of us. In terms of application nyo with the college, ako po yun. Okay, moving on. We are located in British Columbia. If you're not familiar, it's in the westernmost part of Canada. Kalinya siya ng California. Yan, yung side na yon, West Coast, basically. And we are in the same province as Vancouver. However, from Vancouver, it will take you another 1.5 hour flight. So from the Philippines, if you are traveling from the Philippines, we have a direct flight via Philippine Airline to Vancouver International Airport, and then from Vancouver, you have to hop in another domestic flight. So kailangan naka-arrange yun. During normal circumstances, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, the usual scenario is naka-arrange na yun yung domestic flight from Vancouver going to either Dawson Creek and Fort St. John, or Fort St. John rather. Yun yung dalawang cities namin sa region. Ang region namin is called Peace Region. We have two major cities, Fort St. John and Dawson Creek. Yan din yung dalawang city kung nasan yung mga campuses namin. We have 5 campuses in total, pero only 2 of them are available to international students. So you can only choose between Fort St. John or Dawson Creek. The same cities or both cities has their own airport. So in normal cases, from Vancouver International Airport, kung nasan yung campus mo, dun ka dapat mag-arrive. But right now, the only open airport is Fort St. John. So kung ganun pa rin yung situation, anyone at arriving in Fort St. John will have to travel another 2 hours, to 1.5 hours to 2 hours to Dawson Creek. Main campus is in Dawson Creek, by the way. In terms of the cities, the differences between two cities, wala naman masyado in terms of opportunity, cost of living, and minimum wage. Walang difference doon. The major difference between the two is the size of the population and the size of the city itself. Dawson Creek is relatively smaller in terms of population and size. Population, mga 12,000 lang siya. Fort St. John has about 20,000. Dawson Creek is only a small city, small community, can be considered a walkable city. If by walking, I mean like 40, 45 minutes walk to an hour walk, that's, you know, that's very walkable for Canadians. Apparently, that's their, it's part of the, it's part of the lifestyle. So at the same time, especially except during winter, of course, in other season, it's actually very beautiful to walk around the city. The campus is in the city center, so it's not hard to access it. Fort St. John, on the other hand, is outside the city center, but that's okay because both cities has public transportation. So you don't really have to worry about transportation or anything like that. Um, but yeah, both cities offers almost the same cost of living and job opportunities and whatnot. Not much difference, to be honest. Yeah, and then we are also included in the regional district of employment, which is a category under provincial nominee, which allows you to get additional or claim additional points if you apply for permanent residency under provincial nominee program while staying in PACE region. So you can only do that if you stay in our region after studying. If you decided to move, then wherever you move, you have to check if they're included in the regional district of employment. Otherwise, you might not get additional points for that. So that's additional perks if you stay in our region, even after studying. Okay. Moving on, this is actually the aerial shot of our Dawson Creek campus. This area here at the right side is actually our on-campus accommodation or student housing. You may opt to stay here. And this whole area is actually our Dawson Creek campus. Structurally speaking, our campuses are not that big. We don't need massive tall buildings. As you can see, the entire city don't have tall buildings. That's because there's a lot of available lands that we can just put up establishments if needed be. Also, don't worry about the quality of education and the quality of the campus because we are a public college. We follow the standards for every public colleges in Canada. That includes the quality of education that we provide and also the facilities that we have. Okay? That being said, konti lang din ang aming mga students, both domestic and international. Kung i-compare mo siya sa mga colleges na nasa malalaking city, there is a massive difference between the two kasi yung mga nasa malalaking city talaga, yun lang yung campus nila, tas malalaki talaga siya. And that's understandable if you're in major cities like say Vancouver. However, there's a lot of perks and advantages if you study outside bigger cities, which I will discuss later on. As I mentioned earlier, we're a public college, meaning the standard is at par with other public colleges in Canada. Regardless kung mas mahal or mas malaki yung campus nila, it's going to be the same in terms of the quality of education and standards. Plus, our programs are also eligible. Our programs are also PGWP eligible. Big sabihin po, if you haven't heard of PGWP before, that means post-graduation or postgraduate work permit. That's your work permit after studying. It's important that you have that eligibility because that's the only way you can stay in Canada after studying and work full time. I also mentioned earlier that we have 5 campuses in total. 2 of them are open to international students, and we cover about 324,000 square kilometers. Itong figure sa baba, 343,000 plus square kilometers, is actually the size of the Philippines. And kung titingnan natin, konti lang yung difference by about 20,000 lang. Mas malaki lang ng konti by 20,000 square kilometers of Philippines compared sa region namin. And we are the only public tertiary institution. Actually, not just public. We are the only tertiary institution. No other college in our region. So when I said earlier that we have 5 campuses in total, that's actually scattered across the entire size of the Philippines in comparison. So when I also said earlier that you can stay in our region and still get additional points under provincial nominee, I was not only talking about Dawson Creek or Fort St. John. I was basically referring to the area na kasing laki ng Philippines. Your job hunting ground after studying is actually the size of the Philippines. And I highly doubt that you're not going to be able to find work in that massive land area, right? So that alone is very attractive perks for you guys. If your plan is to, migrate eventually, if not, if your plan is only to study and go back to the Philippines or go elsewhere that's not Canada, then you're free to move elsewhere. But if not, consider staying in our region at least while working on the permanent residency, and then your visa is good for anywhere in Canada anyway, so you have the liberty to do that. And you don't have to decide right now. You can just decide after you finish your program. Okay. Um, I have a separate slide for the programs that we have, so we'll talk about it later. And we also have safe and supportive environments. And I'm happy to tell you guys that we actually have a very energetic, very involved Filipino communities in both cities. So we don't have to worry about missing out on uh, adobo, rice. Meron po doon. Don't worry, may rice po doon. um, but yeah, other than the community, not just the locals, just the Filipino community, since we are a smaller city, both cities are relatively small. Basically, everyone knows everyone. And if you have that kind of environment, this it's actually more safe because you know your neighbors, right? You know the people around you. So, in terms of safety, I'd say ours is more safe than than in bigger cities. However, Canada as a whole is a very is a very safe country, so you don't really have to worry about it. Our Dawson Creek campus is actually the center of excellence for aerospace and clean energy technology. We supply the aircraft maintenance technician workers to almost the entire North BC area. And this is the facade of our Fort St. John campus. Now, these are the usual questions that you guys have when you're trying to collect information, right? First question is, okay, what program? We'll discuss that later on. Second question is, how much is that program? What are the requirements? Do I have to take the IELTS? Okay, after that, what about the job opportunity? What about student housing? How's the weather or the climate and student life? So these are the typical usual questions that you guys have. I know I'm aware of that. And these are the information that I'm going to be focusing on. First off, our tuition fee starts at 11,000 Canadian dollar per year. Actually, round off to na yan. Our tuition fee ranges from 9,000 to $10,770 a year. I-round off ko na siya to 11,000 para madaling tandaan. Pero actually, less than 11,000 yung tuition fee talaga namin. And this covers the whole 1 year of your program, which means 2 semester na po yan. Okay, ulitin ko po ha. This is not per semester, this is per year, which is shockingly affordable. When I first learned about NLC, I was shocked at how, when I started with NLC, it was just about 8,000. So nag-increase na siya, little by little. That's why you guys, we just recently increased the tuition fee. That amount is effective this year, starting this year. So that being said, if you're interested, go ahead and apply. Kasi baka mamaya, we don't know, by next year magtaas ulit siya. I don't know yet. Okay, it's discretion ng college. But since we just increase our tuition fee, I don't see it increasing again in anytime soon. So that's a good thing. Pero 11,000 per year is still very affordable. We are actually the most affordable public college in British Columbia. Of course, we're not the lowest in terms of tuition fees sa buong Canada, but we're one of the colleges that offers very affordable tuition fee. You have two ways. You have two ways to pay the tuition fee. Either pay the whole 1 year tuition, especially if you're applying under Study Direct Stream or SDS. If not, then you can apply to, or you can pay the down payment, which is 6,000 Canadian dollar. Okay. Again, two option: pay the whole 1 year tuition or pay the initial tuition deposit, which is 6,000 Canadian dollar. That also covers your first semester. Okay. The remaining balance is paid on the second sem. Next. Okay, no IELTS. For this might change soon, probably next year. I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you, but I was in a meeting with my director just last night. Actually, bago lang to last night. And I was given a heads up about possible changes in terms of IELTS waiver. I'm not 100% sure yet how it's going to change, but definitely there will be some sort of changes. Kaya for now, since hindi pa siya nagbabago, go ahead and take advantage of our IELTS waiver. If you already have a 4 years bachelor degree, or if you graduated a 4 years bachelor degree, you don't have to take an IELTS exam anymore. Okay, it has to be 4 years. Kung yung bachelor din nyo is 3 years lang, hindi ka pwede dyan. Kailangan mo mag-take ng IELTS. Ibig sabihin, yung mga hindi pa tapos ng bachelor, mga graduates ng high school or senior high school or K-12, or yung mga nag-take ng vocational or associate degrees, you have to take the IELTS exam. Right now, we're also accepting Duolingo, but not 100%. The Duolingo is case-to-case basis or subject to the approval of the dean. So it may or may not be accepted. But there is gonna be some changes kasabay ng IELTS requirements pagdating sa Duolingo. So I'm not sure yet. It might not happen anytime soon, but definitely it's coming. That's why, guys, take advantage. If you have a bachelor's degree and you don't wanna, take the IELTS exam, then talk to Kanata, to Francis, and Catherine, and discuss the available intakes that you can apply for. I actually haven't told Kanata about it yet, so Francis and Catherine don't know about it because it was just last night when I had the meeting, and we don't know when it's going to be happening and what exactly are the rules, but it's happening. So just so you know. Okay, the programs that we have, Catherine and Francis, they have this copy of one pager ng programs na meron kami. Actually, you can check the programs on our website. However, if you check our website, we have 100 programs, and it's going to be confusing for you guys. So what we did is come up with a one-pager list of all the programs open to international students. Okay, hindi po lahat ng program na nasa website namin pwede sa international student. Pero kung ano yung nakita niyo dito sa list, then pwede sa inyo yan. Okay, I'm not gonna discuss it one by one. You can have an assessment or consultation with Kanata, and then they can help you in terms of program selection, which program best fits your profile, your background, and what are the requirements and whatnot. If you want a copy of this, you can ask for the copy from them, and yeah, and then they can also help you in terms of applying for that whatever program that you choose. But having this cheat sheet will tell you everything that you need to know. If you are required to take the IELTS exam, you know what scores is required per program, how much is the actual program. As you can see, the only $11,000 here is actually our aircraft maintenance. Other than that, okay, we have land and water resources, but majority of the programs that we have are not even didn't even reach 11,000. So, or early childhood education and care is also 11,000. But I mean, that's still relatively affordable as compared to other college in Canada. If you don't have an idea, the average tuition fee for majority of the colleges in Canada ranges from 18,000 to 20,000 Canadian dollar per year. So you see the difference, sobrang laki. Moving on, job opportunities. So we've discussed about the costs, the IELTS, the requirements, job opportunity. This page here will tell you itong graph dito sa baba. I actually included the source, that's work.bc.ca, BC Labor Market Outlook for Northeast. We're talking about Northeast, okay, of British Columbia. Ano to, employment projection or job opening composition for the next 10 years is starting 2029. So nakalagay dito kung ilang percentage kung may job opening at saan siya galing. 47% would come from retiring workers, 95%, 53% or 9,500 will come from economic growth. And in total, for the next 10 years, there's going to be 18,000 plus available jobs. And again, I'm telling you guys, kami lang po ang public college sa region. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the number of international students is equivalent to the number of international students that we have. And we don't get a lot, siguro 1,000 international students. And that's for the whole year. That doesn't mean, it's for one intake. So, nagro-rotate yan. Not everyone stays in the region kasi yung iba nag-enroll lang sa amin, dun lang nag-aaral kasi mas mura yung tuition fee. But they have relatives elsewhere in Canada, so they move after studying. Or yung iba naman may nakitang may job opportunity elsewhere, they move. Definitely, very small percentage lang yung nag-stay sa region namin and fill in those job vacancies. In the long run, for the 10 years projection, yung 18,000, mahirap yun punuin. Mukha lang siyang maliit, but you have to understand the population of Canada itself, the population or the capacity of the international student that we can take or we can accept is also very limited. And the North BC, our unemployment rate is actually very low. Ibig sabihin nun, almost everyone in the region already has works or jobs. So yung mga mag-fill in dun sa mga vacancies, hindi na yung mga existing na nandun, yun yung mga bagong dadating. And then rotation yun. Umiikot siya. Kasi every intake, every graduation, nag-move yung ibang tao to elsewhere in Canada. So just to tell you guys na pagdating sa job opportunity, in our region, actually, there's a lot. Lesser competition pati kasi konti lang yung international student namin. Imagine mo, ganito, let's make some sort of comparison. If you imagine yourself studying in, say, Vancouver, because that's the closest that I can have comparison with. Vancouver, pinakamalaking city sa British Columbia. In Vancouver, there is a lot of colleges. There are numerous colleges and university, both public and private. So in downtown Vancouver alone, meron na diyang more than 10 colleges and university. And all of these colleges and university are actually bringing in international students per year, per intake. Say, lahat yan nagdala ng international student in one intake, kasabay ninyo. 1,000 international students. Lahat kayo para-paras kayo ng needs. Kailangan nyo maghanap ng part-time work. And then after studying, kailangan nyo maghanap ng full-time work. So imagine niyo kung ganun karami ang kakompetensya ninyo. Right? Sa amin, konti lang, plus dalawa yung campuses namin, so scattered din siya. Kaya, in terms of competition, you don't have to worry about it. In terms of number of job availability or job opportunities, you don't have to worry about it. What I'm trying to say, in short, ang dami ko sinabi, diba? In short, maraming job opportunities sa region namin. It doesn't sound like it is kasi syempre iba, baka you haven't heard of Dawson for St. John before. You haven't gone anywhere outside Vancouver as an option That's why I'm actually, talking a lot about and reiterating about um, how high the opportunities in our region is. Kasi it's important that you understand this part. And I back it up with an actual source. So you can check this out, workbc.ca, and see for yourself. In terms of student life, it's going to be the same for other colleges. We have um, supports for international students. We have extracurricular activities, um, some student gatherings. This is not just to waste your time, but also to help you meet the people around you, build up your networks of people or connections of people, kasi they will help you immensely in terms of paghanap ng work, full-time work. Kasi 80% of jobs in Canada are actually by referrals and recommendation. Of course, you can do walk in, you can apply walk in, but having referrals and recommendation helps a lot. Plus word of mouth. Siyempre, kapag may nag-hire ng ganitong work, or may particular business uh, that is looking for someone to work for them, and they have someone na taga doon, you get the information or the news fast. Like, hey, my boss is looking for someone like this. You might want to apply, something like that, instead of waiting for it to just be posted. Also, not just this, meron din kami mga services for international students, and outdoor activities. Meron kaming campings, hiking, ganun. But other than this, meron din kaming mga CV writing workshop, interview preparation workshops that are actually free of charge, so you can take advantage of those services. Okay. Now, in terms of accommodation, you have three options. Either you go for the on-campus accommodation or student housing, aka dormitory dito sa Philippines. Second option is off-campus accommodation, own arrangement niyo po yun. Third is homestay. So, isa-isahin natin yon. Yung on-campus accommodation po namin, sa loob talaga siya ng campus, nakita niyo naman kanina, walking distance lang, few steps away from the campus. 4-bedroom unit siya. So, 4 na student ang mag-share dito, but right now, because of the pandemic, 2 lang ang pwede. Social distancing. So, yung supposedly bedroom namin for 4, 2 lang yung nag-occupy. 520 per month. That includes all the utilities, such as water, internet, and electricity. Ang hindi lang kasama dyan is food. For food, however, since there's kitchen, you can actually cook your own food. And 1 student per room. Okay, rooms are not shared po sa aming student housing. Other places, yan, shared na yan mga yan. And meron, other than ito, 520 siya, meron tayong off-campus accommodation, own arrangement yun sa labas ng campus. Normally, it will range from $400 to $450, which is obviously lower than on-campus accommodation. So what I usually recommend to students is 2 months muna sila sa on-campus accommodation pag may available. And then within that 2 months time, explore yung city, find an accommodation off campus, find yourself a roommate as well, para you can divide the expenses or you can share the expenses, and it will save you a lot of money. Mas madali lang talagang i-ready or i-book ang on-campus residence since it's under the control of the college as well. Meron din tayong homestay. Ang homestay, however, I don't usually recommend it to Filipinos kasi masyado siyang mahal. $800. That includes food though. But still, you can save much more money if you arrange your own accommodation off campus and then just cook your own food. Also because it depends, pag napunta ka sa Canadian family, yung food nila, hindi kagaya ng food natin. Okay, hindi sila mahilig sa rice. Mahilig sila sa mga sandwich, ganyan, sa steak. Now, if you're someone who can't live without rice, then you might want to cook your own. So, maraming ways. For now, what the important thing is you know how much para you can gauge kung magkano yung kailangan mong prepare. Now, kung saan, wag mo munang hanapin yan kasi wala ka pa doon. Kailangan mo munang secure yung enrollment mo sa college before mag-apply ng visa. At pag may visa ka na, saka mo to i-worry. Kasi that's the time to worry about this. If you worry about the accommodation now, it doesn't make sense kasi you haven't done anything yet. Nag-worry ka na sa accommodation, di ka pa nakakapag-enroll sa college. Right? So, unahin mo muna yung college, and then yung visa, and then saka ka worry about accommodation. So, madali lang naman i-arrange ng accommodation. May mga services naman kami. Kung walang on campus, we will give you suggestion or recommendations kung saan ka makahanap ng accommodation. So, bottom line, we will not let you just, not get accommodation at all. So, don't worry about it. Now, in terms of temperature, winter, or climate rather, or weather, yeah, 4 seasons po kami. And our winter tends to be extreme. Especially during the peak of winter season, it will reach up to -30 to -35. But that's okay because malamig lang sa labas. Ulitin ko po sa labas lang po malamig. So during winter season, if you have to go outside, like this, for example, you want to try snow sports, you just have to be properly clothed and you're fine. But anywhere else, sa loob ng campus, sa loob ng accommodation mo, sa loob ng sasakyan, may mga may mga heater, may mga warmer, ganyan. So, sa labas lang. Yung iba kasi sobrang takot sa snow. Pero iba naman, sobrang tuwa kasi parang yun yung gusto nila ma-experience, winter talaga. Because we don't have winter here in the Philippines. So might as well, experience this. Also because we need snow to get the northern lights. That's why we have northern lights kasi we have a certain amount of snow required to have it. Don't worry, we are 4 seasons. Hindi naman po kami winter wonderland all year round. Meron din kami summer, spring, and fall, okay, which are equally beautiful, by the way. And wrapping up na po, in a nutshell, if you're looking for a college that offers affordable tuition fee, and also check, no IELTS, check din po kami. Public college, check. Job opportunity, check. Cost of living, lower. Okay, I forgot to mention the minimum wage in British Columbia applies to anywhere in BC. So, yung minimum wage sa Vancouver, parehas pa ng minimum wage sa region namin. Walang pinagkaiba. Plus, mas mababa ang cost of living. When I told you earlier na makakuha ka ng off-campus accommodation ng mga about, say, $400 lang. It's impossible to get the same amount or the same price in Vancouver. So Vancouver, ang cost of living in total would be up to 1,500 to 2,000 Canadian dollar. Ang total cost of living in our region will probably about 800. Kung isasama mo na lahat, accommodation, food, transportation, what else? Mobile phones and stuff like that. Siguro mga $800 a month yun lahat in total. The same cannot be said sa Vancouver or yung mas malaking city. It will probably cost you about $1,500 to $2,000 per month. So ganun siya kalaki, halos kalahati ng times 2 ang cost of living sa Vancouver. Plus, if your bucket list includes Northern Lights, aka Aurora Borealis, if you're not familiar with Northern Lights, but you know Aurora Borealis, it's the same. We have that. That's why we are named after the Northern Lights anyway. Okay, so you get to experience Northern Lights while studying in our region, and that happens. That majestic phenomena happens every winter because it needs some certain amount of ice and snow. But yes, you get to experience that. Documents required. Okay, technicalities na po tayo. All these documents must be submitted to your agent. This time, yung host po nating event, Kanata, si Francis and Catherine. Straightforward tayo, passport. It has to be valid. Okay? And you have to sign it. Kasi yung bagong passport natin, naka-separate yung signature page niya, di ba? Unlike before na nakasama siya doon digitally. Ngayon, you have to sign it, tapos iscan mo siya kasama yung bio page and yung first page. Isang buo yun. Bio page and the signature page. College diploma, and college transcript. Yung college diploma actually, kung hindi available yan, ang importante lang, nakalagay yung actual program mo, actual degree mo doon sa transcript. If it's not indicated there at hindi naka-indicate na tinapos mo yung program or yung bachelor mo, kailangan namin ng college diploma. Pero pag available siya, might as well just provide it. So college diploma, college transcript, para hindi na kayo malito, just provide both. And high school and IELTS are only required if you do not have a bachelor's degree yet. Again, ang pwede lang po sa IELTS waiver namin yung mga may 4 years bachelor's degree na. Yung mga graduate ng high school or hindi pa tapos ng college, K-12 for example, kailangan namin, sa mga K-12, kailangan ko ng parehas na junior high and senior high diploma and transcript. Yung mga old curriculum naman po, ganun din. High school diploma, high school TOR or Form 137. Okay? Application fee is currently waived. So it will not cost you anything to submit your application. And submit your application to your agent. Because your agent can help screen the application o malinaw ba yung copy, tama ba yung copy nito, baka mamaya yung diploma nyo is walang English translation or hindi translated in English, kailangan English translated siya, mga ganun bagay. Simple technicalities. Submit to your agent and then they will submit it to me for checking. So that's how it works. Yeah, that's actually it.
All right. Thank you, Jamie, for that wonderful presentation. Our last speaker will be our very own Catherine Manasan, who will discuss the process of the application for school and also the services that Kanata gives for the visa application for the students. Catherine?
Hi, everyone. Hello. Thank you, Mr. Francis. And thank you, Miss Jamie, for that wonderful presentation about Northern Lights College. So I hope you guys are excited as we are na mag-aral sa Northern Lights College kasi alam niyo na murang-mura and at the same time makikita niyo pa ang Aurora Borealis kung nasa bucket list niyo yan. Maganda doon na makita niyo siya. So let me just share my presentation with you. And thank you for joining us today on a Saturday. Sana kayo guys ay safe and wala kayong sakit and safe kayo dyan sa bahay nyo. So ayan, let's start my presentation. Okay, so yeah, welcome to Study in Canada webinar with Kanata Education and Northern Lights College. So ano ba ang benefits of an international student? Bakit mo kailangan mag-aral in Canada? And ano yung makukuha mong benefits when you study in Canada? So of course, kailangan kapag student ka ng Canada, you are always enrolled at a designated learning institution. So with Northern Lights College, they are a DLI list school. And then, of course, kailangan natatapos mo yung program na in-applyan mo and you should respect the conditions of your student permit. And syempre, aalis ka ng Canada kapag nag-expire na yung student permit mo. So, other than that, as a student, you can work while you study. So guys, hindi kami nag-offer dito. As your agent, we don't offer the study and work program. So study and work program is already a benefit of an international student. So privilege mo yon. Pwede kang magtrabaho habang nag-aaral. So there are ways how you can work while you study. So unang-una dyan, pwedeng on-campus jobs. So kapag may availability on campus, for example, sa mga library, cafeteria, ganyan. So, pwede ka dun sa mga student assistance centers. So, pwede ka magtrabaho doon. So, on-campus jobs are highly dependent on the availability at the school. And then, of course, you can work off-campus. Nandiyan na yung magpa-part-time ka, let's say, for example, sa mga coffee shops, restaurants, or kung hindi man doon ng line of work mo, pwede ka sa mga office jobs. So, depende na lang yan sa'yo, guys, kung saan ka mag-a-apply. And As per our students na nandun na ngayon in Canada, in span of 1 month, maximum na yun actually, nakakakuha agad sila ng work. So, nasa sa inyo yan kung paano kayo maghanap. Siyempre, kailangan meron kayong skills and hindi tayo masyadong choosy, siyempre, di ba? And then, of course, meron din namang co-op na tinatawag. So, yung co-op, para siyang OJT na dito sa atin, sa Pilipinas. So, part siya ng program mo. Naka-tie up siya doon. So, yung co-op can be paid or not paid by the company. So, ayan guys. So, once again, you can work while you study in Canada as a student, as an international student. That is one of your benefits or privilege. And then aside from that, during school semester, you can work for 20 hours per week. Or kapag semestral breaks naman or holiday breaks, kagaya ng Christmas break or summer break, pwede kang mag-work ng 40 hours or you can have basically a full-time job. So, yan yung mga benefits niya. And then, aside from that, you can have a postgraduate work permit. So, you can stay in Canada after your program. So, di ba? Ang ganda. Actually, parang si Canada lang yata yung may gantong klaseng benefit of an international student. So, pwede ka pang magstay in Canada pagkatapos mo yung program mo. Kapag less than 8 months yung program, let's say 6 months lang yung tinitake mong program, hindi ka entitled for postgraduate work permit. Pero kapag 1 year yung program mo, meron kang 1 year postgraduate work permit. So yan yung mga graduate certificates or graduate diploma. So pwede kang magstay in Canada for another 1 year. So you are in Canada for a total of 2 years. So pagkatapos ng program, hindi ka pa uuwi agad. And then kapag 2 years yung program mo, let's say college diplomas and graduate diplomas na 2 years, then you can stay in Canada for another 3 years. So postgraduate work permit means you can stay in Canada and work full-time. So ayan yun. Yan yung program na yan. And then, of course, you can bring your dependents. Kasama siya as a benefit. So, hindi siya ino-offer ng agent. Once again, hindi siya ino-offer ng agent. Ino-offer siya ni Canada for international students. So, that is your privilege. You can bring your spouse, your common law partner, or your children. Kapag ka 18 years old and above and you're still single, hindi kasama dito yung kapatid or mga magulang. So, kapag ka lang may sarili ka ng family, tsaka mo lang siya, masasama yung spouse mo, yung common law partner mo, or yung children mo. So, for common law partner, syempre pro-LGBTQ tayo dito, so pwede mo yun isama yung partner mo. Okay, so that's another benefit of an international student. You can bring your dependents. So, Kanata Education will provide a free assessment and unlimited consultation and free assistance. So, yes, we do not collect processing fees, guys. Hindi po kami nangongolekta ng processing fees. We only collect 10,000 security deposit, which you will use later on for your visa application and biometrics fees. So, syempre gusto lang namin makasigurado ka na talagang mag-a-apply ka kasi kapag nag-cancel ka, ano na yun? Non-refundable yung 10,000. But otherwise, if you are actually going to proceed with your application, then you can utilize or use the 10,000 for your visa application and biometrics fee. So technically, wala kang binayad sa amin. And you can always contact us through our social media pages, Viber, and WhatsApp. So we are catering all over the world. So kahit saan parte ka pa ng mundo, even if you are in the Middle East, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, kahit saan pa yan, I have students currently in Israel, and then meron din in Kuwait and in Qatar. So we are working with Filipinos all over the world. We can schedule a Zoom meeting kahit din other parts of the Philippines from Cebu, Davao, Mindanao, or even in the northern part in Baguio and Tuguegarao or in Ilocos, pwede natin yan pag-usapan. So we can always schedule video calls or phone calls via Zoom. Okay? So ano ba yung mga documents na required to become an international student? So as mentioned by Ms. Jamie earlier, kailangan lang nila is your passport, your college credentials, and then yun na, tapos na. Joke lang. So if you are a graduate or a bachelor's degree holder, you are waived or you are exempted from having an IELTS. So hindi na siya nire-require. Otherwise, if you are a K-12 graduate or mature students na hindi nakatapos ng college, like for example, naka second year college ka lang, so you must take an IELTS exam. Okay? And then, what is the process of becoming an international student? So paano ba natin yan uumpisahan, Miss Kat? So unang-una, andyan yung ating pag-consult sa inyong counselor. So ako po yan, or si Sir Francis, pwede niyo po kaming kausapin. So dito po nangyayari yung program recommendation kasi we are applying you as a student of Canada. So syempre pag student ka, kailangan nating ma-explain bakit kailangan mong mag-aral. So program recommendation is highly critical when applying as a student in Canada. So kami yung magre-recommend sa inyo kung ano ba yung dapat na program para sa inyo. After nun, you will gather all your documents as mentioned earlier by Ms. Jamie, kung ano man yung mga requirements from NLC, and then we will submit that to NLC for your school application. So, ayan, apply natin sa kanila. And then we will wait for the letter of acceptance or the offer letter. Once na na-receive na natin yon, kailangan nyo ng bayaran ang slot nyo kasi very high demand in NLC kasi they are one of the affordable schools in Canada and also in British Columbia. So, guys, kapag ka talagang na-receive nyo na yung offer letter nyo or yung letter of acceptance, bayaran nyo na agad yung inyong slot. So, ayan. After nun, pag nabayaran nyo na siya, mag-start na tayo sa ating visa application process and we will get the medical first. So, we advise our students to get an upfront medical kapag ka mag-a-apply na as a student for visa application. And then the rest, we will send you a comprehensive list of visa requirements to complete your visa application process, and we will do and assist you in submitting all these documents. Okay, so there are two types of visa application process when applying as a student in Canada. So ito na yung regular stream. So regular stream is the most preferred option of visa application ng mga students. So bakit kaya ito yung kadalasan na pinipili ng mga students? So bago yung COVID or bago yung pandemic, ang waiting time or application assessment runs from 6 to 8 weeks. Dati yon, pero ngayon 13 to 14 weeks na siya nag-run as per the IRCC's website. Okay, so kailangan mo ng proof of acceptance from a designated learning institution, which is yun nga sa NLC, bibigyan ka nila ng letter of acceptance after natin mag-apply. And then proof of identity, which is your passport, birth certificates, ganyan kapag ka mag-apply na tayo. And then kailangan mo ng proof of financial support. So ano ba itong proof of financial support? So Ms. Kat, ito na yung kailangan mo ng ano nga ba tawag yun? Sponsor. Sorry, kailangan mo na ng sponsor. So si sponsor, ito yung magpo-provide ng show money. So magkano yung show money na kailangan? Ang show money na kailangan ay 1-year tuition fee and 1-year living costs. So as mentioned or shown earlier in NLC's presentation, ang tuition fee nila nag-range between 10,000 to 11,000 Canadian dollars. So pag ganun yung tuition fee, plus 10,000 living costs, so ang total na show money ay nasa 20,000 to 21,000 Canadian dollars. So magkano yun in Philippine peso? So 21,000 times 38. So 798,000 ang show money. So itong pera na to guys, hindi nyo siya bibit-bitin. In Canada, hindi nyo rin siya ilalagay sa bank account nyo. Ang pera na to ay nasa bank account ni sponsor. So siya yung magpo-provide ng bank statements na merong nagkakahalaga nitong show money. So sino ba yung pwede mo maging sponsor? So syempre andyan yung mga kamag-anak mo. As long as we can provide a proof of identity and proof of relationship, pwede nyo siyang isama as your sponsor. And then of course, andyan din yung letter of explanation. So letter of explanation or yung study plan na tinatawag or statement of purpose, isa lang yon. So Kanata Education or your counselors will help you and guide you in writing the study plan. So, kaya mag-apply na kayo through sa amin. So, ayan. Once again, for regular stream, you must have a letter of acceptance from the school, proof of identity, proof of financial support, or yung sponsor mo, and then yung letter of explanation, and then of course, you need to pay a 1 semester tuition fee. Okay? So, next naman ay ang iyong study direct stream or the other type of visa application, which is a very straightforward and hassle-free type of application. So, bakit siya hassle-free type and straightforward? So, again, bago mag-pandemic or bago yung COVID, ang assessment ng IRCC or yung pag-approve ng visa application runs between 4 to 6 weeks. So, meron talaga nakakaalis before na after 1 month or 2 months ng pag-submit ng visa, na-approve na agad sila kasi nga ganun sila kabilis. So kung si school nag-waive ng IELTS requirement, kapag mag-a-apply ka through Study Direct Stream, you are required to submit an IELTS score with a with a minimum band of 6. So kailangan mo mag-IELTS. And then you are required to purchase a guaranteed investment certificate of 10,000 Canadian dollars. So kung kanina sa regular stream, wala kang pinurchase na guaranteed investment certificate, kailangan mo lang ng show money. Here in Study Direct Stream, you must purchase a guaranteed investment certificate. And you must pay 1-year tuition fee. So kanina rin sa regular stream, babayaran mo lang yung 1 semester. In Study Direct Stream, you must pay 1-year tuition fee. So basically, in advance mo lahat ng gastos mo in Canada. So nandun na yung living allowance mo, and then yung tuition fee mo na secure mo na for 1 year. And also, you must write a statement of purpose as well. So, kailangan din siya with Study Direct Stream. So, yan yung difference ng Study Direct Stream and ng regular stream. So, guys, may mga nagtatanong kasi bakit kailangan mag-aral or paano yan, Miss Kat, meron kasing COVID or pandemic, hindi ako makakapunta ng Canada. Actually, guys, open ang Canada for international students. You are exempted from the travel restrictions. So you can travel to Canada and the government will allow you to fly. So merong pinaprovide si school na mga travel supporting documents. So pwedeng-pwede kayong pumunta ng Canada at this time. Okay, so also si school ay nag-shift towards online learning, so you can actually study dito sa Pilipinas, sa bahay mo. And then, syempre, mas mababa ang gastos kasi nasa Pilipinas ka pa. Hindi mo kailangan mag-part-time jobs para lang masustain yung buhay mo in Canada. And you can study at the comfort of your home and you still qualify for postgraduate work permit kahit wala ka sa Canada and you are studying online. So, ayun lang guys. I hope you can follow us on our social media pages on Facebook page and our Instagram page. And if you need more clarifications about your sponsors and show money, you can always follow us on our YouTube channel. So we post our updates as well as mga approvals na meron na kami nilagay namin dyan sa YouTube channel. And also to help you guys kung hindi kayo comfortable. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And we can proceed now with our question and answer portion.
Yes. All right. For students na meron questions about dun sa process or about sa Northern Lights College, you can type in your question or you can turn on now your mic and your video para at least we can see you also.
Yes, okay. So, Sir Francis, we have a question here. Meron daw bang age limit ang pag-aaral sa Canada?
Yes, okay, I can answer that. There's no age limit as long as you're qualified dun sa, syempre, dun sa eligibility na dapat tapos na ng senior high school si student or bachelor's degree. And also, syempre, yung financial assistance ng magiging sponsor niya, dapat enough money din yung nasa proof bank account ng magiging sponsor na for proof of funds para makapag-apply siya ng visa. Actually, we have students na nasa 40 plus na yung age, and yung iba kumukuha ng mga graduate certificate courses, or yung iba naman MBA programs. Or if wala pa silang formal education dun sa work na ginagawa nila ngayon, they can also take college diploma courses or yung mga advanced diploma courses.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Miss Jamie, mayroong question dito si student. Kung 1 year lang daw yung program niya, and then gusto pa daw niyang mag-aral ng another program, pwede pa raw ba yun siyang mag-apply?
Yeah, that's gonna be treated as a new application. However, majority of our programs are actually for 2 years. The only 1 year program that we have is certificate programs. So I'm not sure how it will sit well sa immigration if you already have a bachelor's degree and then you're taking a certificate program. I would say go for the 2 years already. Kasi ganun din, if your plan is to go for 2 years program, might as well. Kasi you're only required to pay maximum of 1 year anyway, or initial tuition deposit only. So yeah,
Okay.
go for 2 years.
Another question, Sir Francis, I think you can answer this one. If walang sponsor, they can proceed with the application?
Yes, definitely. Na-mention kanina ni Catherine dun sa presentation niya that if you don't have any sponsor, you can take the SDS, yung Study Direct Stream na way ng pag-apply ng visa. So you need to pay for the 1 year tuition fee and take the IELTS exam, and dapat meron kang score na 6.0 with no band score lower than 5.5. And also, magsisecure ka ng Guaranteed Investment Certificate or GIC. So that's amounting 10,200 Canadian dollars. This one is to prove sa visa officer or dun sa IRCC na covered na yung pag-aaral mo or yung living expenses mo in Canada for a year. That's why they're required to open a bank account of 10,200 Canadian dollars and also pay for the 1 year tuition fee. So pwede pa din kahit walang sponsor.
Yes, actually, they can do with the study direction. Okay, Ms. Jamie, what programs do you recommend kapag daw may master's degree na sila?
Oh, for master's degree, I would say any of our post-degree diploma program. We have 3 types, business management, and then health administration, and then information technology. So kung ano yung applicable sa inyo doon, kailangan lang for health admin and IT, your background has to be relevant to health and IT. For business management, anyone who has a bachelor's degree can apply to that program.
Okay, Jamie, na-mention mo yung background. Is it required ba na yung education background nila related sa health or yung work experience nila? Or
It's actually okay. For the health administration, more on the education background. For IT, both.
Work background pwede din?
Yes.
Okay.
Education and work background for IT. Advanced na kasi yung mga post-degree namin. Advanced program na siya. Kaya kailangan somehow relevant. Kasi kung zero-based ka, zero knowledge ka doon, sa IT for example, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, since advanced na siya. So, kailangan may background ka doon. Ang business management kasi, hindi, not much. Any background, both education and work. Kasi any business, any industry has the business background, has the business side. So, yun, medyo lenient kami doon.
May question si Mirasol. Sir, I supposed to study in Toronto. So she submitted a visa application to get together with an LOA for Toronto school. Pwede ba siyang mag-change ng school, Miss Catherine? Or she needs to apply for another visa application na located, na yung LOA niya na sa school siya papasok, which is located na sa Toronto. Or sa NLC, sorry.
Pwede ka pa rin wait lang, nakapag-lodge ka na ng visa, no? So hopefully ma-approve naman yung visa mo kasi sayang naman yun kung naka-lodge ka na ng visa. But if in case, let's say, God forbid, na refuse, you can, of course, we will still accept you. We can apply you to NLC and we will still assist you with your application sa visa. So, but then of course, we would want you to have your visa approved. So, ayan.
Pero syempre kung let's say, si student na bigyan ng visa and then mag-change siya ng school, I think you should inform the IRCC din. Hindi siya pwede.
Okay. Pagka-approve na yung visa, it's gonna be a new application.
A new application.
Yes, kapag under process. Kaya lang kasi magkaiba kasi sila ng DLI. Magkaibang school siya. Hindi siya kunyari si NLC kasi since dalawa yung campus ni NLC. It's not like you're going to transfer to a different campus. It's two different schools with two different DLI numbers. So, iba yung naka-register sa government ni Canada. So, technically, you're going to reapply or you're going to have a new application for visa. So, ganun siya mangyayari. So, best is to wait for your decision and then tapusin mo yung school mo sa kung saan ka man nag-apply. And then pag nandoon ka na sa Canada, kung gusto mo lumipat ng NLC, you can always do that. At least nandun ka na sa Canada.
Yeah, may additional din ako dyan. Tama yun, sabi ni Catherine, you have to finish it kasi once you pay the tuition fee, the only way you can refund is by visa refusal.
Yes,
Pag
correct.
hindi refuse yung visa mo, not sure that it will be refunded to you. So, sayang, might as well. Just continue with that since we had ka na. Kahit na gusto libat ng NLC, siguro after na lang, on your second year, perhaps.
Yes,
And
that's
yeah,
correct.
can move.
And also, I would like to clarify, guys, we don't collect processing fees. We only collect 10,000 security deposit. This 10,000 security deposit will be used later on for your visa application and biometrics fees. May bayad kasi yon. That's around 235 Canadian dollars or more or less nasa 9,700, 9,800. Depende sa conversion. So technically, wala ka pa ring binayad. We just want you to be sure na magpo-proceed kayo sa application nyo with us or sa NLC. So we will assist you all throughout the entire process from school application. We will check all your documents and we will assist you with your visa application. Lahat ng requirements isasend namin sa inyo. Pati pagsulat ng study plan nyo, tutulungan namin kayo dyan. So, ayan. Okay. So I have another question here, Miss Jamie. What if daw third year college lang siya nung nursing? Ano daw yung application niya? Kailangan ba Form 137 or TOR yung isasubmit niya sa'yo?
Parehas. Kung makakuha siya ng TOR from the college, much better. If not, okay lang din yung Form 137. It's just that, depende sa program eh. May mga program kasi na ang entry requirements is say, grade 12, math or science equivalent. Ang equivalent sa atin nun, kung old curriculum ang pag-uusapan, is the up to second year of our college. Kung old curriculum kung K-12 kasi walang problema, equivalent ng grade 12 math and science ng Canada is grade 12 natin. Pero pag hindi, pag old curriculum ka, tapos ang entry requirements ng program is at least equivalent ng grade 12, 11 or 12 ng math or science, then yun yung first or second year ng college mo. That's why, kung naka third year ka sa college, might as well secure the TOR for that 3-year college. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Jamie, do you accept, are you offering online classes right now?
Right now, yes. However, we are looking forward to, especially September this year's intake. We are hoping that everyone are able to fly to Canada and stop the online classes. Right now, for the May, kasi May ang pinakamalapit yung susunod na intake. For the May 2021 intake, we understand that the situation is still sort of the same as per the previous intakes. We're allowing students to start online classes while waiting for the visa result. And once they get the visa result, they have to fly to Canada. Ganun siya. Pero yung mga ngayon, especially yung mga mag-a-apply pa lang, I'm sure 2022 na yan, guys, ang susunod na available intake na namin is either January or May 2022.
And there's a big chance na rin na
it's a big chance na balik na sa dati. Yes, na okay na tayo. Hopefully, let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay na tayo, travels are back, and you know, COVID is dealt with. and everyone's vaccinated and stuff like that. And if that happens, then things are gonna get back to normal, and then no online classes. Kasi pre-pandemic, prior to pandemic, hindi naman talaga nag-exist yung online class. Everything has to be on campus. You have to be there. Start your class. That's why ngayon, yung iba kasi nagpapadelay ng visa application thinking na pwede naman ako mag-online class. No, that's not the case. You cannot apply for the online class if your visa is not lodged. Yeah. So guys, you have to be, you have to work with your agent, with Kanata here in terms of timeline, kasi maraming nagdi-DIY na hindi aware doon.
Yes.
To be honest, sobrang a month prior ng start ng class, hindi pa nag-apply ng visa. And I was like, guys, bakit ganun? Dapat 3 months prior naka-apply ka na. Di ba? 1 month prior, ano to? Magic?
Mabilis kayong maubusan ng slots, di ba? So,
exactly.
Ang mga agents, alam nila kung kailan yung pag-open ng slots at kailan dapat isubmit ang document.
Exactly. Yan, sila Catherine at si Francis, alam nila kung kailan ang timeline natin. Plus, you have to think of it as the usual one, like pre-pandemic. Kung ano yung situation like pre-pandemic, ang target mo is make visa ka na before this date kasi you have to fly, you must have the same thinking kahit na naka-pandemic tayo ngayon. Kasi kung ang saan na pwede naman na mag-online class, then that's not your initial plan, right? That's not what we're working with right now. So ang plan is for you to get there. But if you don't, if you don't schedule it, if you don't follow the timeline properly, you're not gonna get your visa in time for the intake. You're not gonna go to Canada. You're not gonna, and then start mo yung program mo. Tapos medyo complicated guys kasi start mo yung class mo, technically binayaran mo na yun, tapos decline yung visa mo. Matrabaho sa atin parehas, sa atin lahat, pati sa college. Sa totoo lang. Kaya matagal yung processing period namin usually na 1 week meron ka ng offer or letter of acceptance. Ngayon, it will take you about a month. Kasi maraming complicated things. We're not gonna talk about it kasi we tackle it as we move along Pero what I'm saying is, stick with your timeline. That's why we have Kanata here kasi pwede ka nilang tulungan na mag-time frame. O by this time, ito yung target natin. By this time, ganyan. Kaya kami make partnership kasi I can't help you without timeline.
And add to that, kasi for NLC, correct me if I'm wrong, we are, you will accept applications na for January 2022 and May 2022. So even though na 1 year pa yung tagal ng pasukan, guys, kailangan nyo nang mag-submit ng documents kasi we are nakapila yan kay Miss Jamie. So once na mag-open na ang applications for NLC for May 2022, automatic isasubmit na namin siya. So nakapasok na yung applications nyo. And we only have yung slots kasi nila for international students. It's not just for Filipinos. So it's for all over the world yan. Kaya kailangan kung interested talaga kayo mag-aral sa NLC, you have to submit kahit matagal pa siya. And applying through Kanata Education will makakasave kayo ng $100 Canadian kasi Waived na ang application fee nyo. So,
exactly.
Ayan. I have another question here. Actually, we are live on YouTube and there is a question. How long usually ang school breaks per semester? So, if they, tuwing kailan ang pasukan nyo, Miss Jamie, sa NLC?
Ang break, summer break, sem break, normally ang sem break lasted for like a week or 2. Mga 2 weeks or 3 weeks din yan. Normally mga 2 weeks lang yan. Ang intake talaga namin is January, May, and September. Pero ang semester namin is January and September lang. 2 semester lang kami sa isang taon. Okay? Magkaiba yung intake, magkaiba yung semesters.
Mm-hmm.
And then yung breaks, depende yan Kung summer break ang pag-uusapan, mahaba yun. Mga 2 months, 3 months yun, summer break. Sem break, mga 2 weeks, ganyan. Parang sem break natin sa Philippines. Mga 1 2 weeks, ganyan. Tapos yung mga holidays naman, syempre, yung mga, December, Christmas and New Year, mga ganun. Ilang months, ilang weeks yun. 2 weeks din. So, depende kung anong klaseng break yung pinag-uusapan natin. Meron yan, naka-schedule naman lahat yan. Once na nag-register ka, everything is scheduled.
Mm-hmm. Regarding West Assessment Certificate, nire-require niyo ba yun at NLC? Or
No,
already
no,
bear?
no, we don't. Even though requirement siya sa immigration, right? The college is not accepting anything from third party.
Yes. Okay. Jamie, may question dito about the tuition fee. Kailan ba isa-settle yung, di ba, na-mention mo kanina for para makakuha ng LOA before mag-apply ng visa, magbabayad sila ng 6,000 Canadian dollars. So, equivalent na yun for the one semester. Kailan nila babayaran yung remaining tuition fee for the year?
Ano na, second semester na yun.
Before mag-start ng second semester.
Yes.
So, okay. I hope...
Kasi ganoon din yun, bibigyan din sila ng offer. Hindi, may bibigay sa kanilang document, tapos may deadline din doon kung kailan. And then they can proceed to the second semester. Ganun siya. Pero pagdating na, kasi nandun na sila by the time that happens So, doon na siya sa college.
Okay. May question about sponsorship, Miss Catherine. Ang question na is, dapat ba relative yung magiging sponsor mo? Definitely, kailangan related kayo. That's why nire-require din yung proof of relationship. Ano ba yung mga proof of relationship? Like birth certificate, ninang or ninong mo sa kasal, so sa marriage certificate, pwede mo siyang i-prove yung relationship mo. Pero for friends, medyo mahirapan tayo dun sa relationship nyo. That's why maganda talaga ang mag-sponsor sa inyo, someone related sa inyo na kunwari cousins nyo, uncle, na pwede naman kahit wala sila sa Canada, kahit nasa US sila, all over the world, kung wala sila sa Philippines, wala sila sa Canada, pwede pa rin sila mag-sponsor dun sa pag-aaral nyo in Canada. And yung sponsorship naman usually ginagamit lang to for visa application. So, yun yung ipapresent natin na affidavit of support from your sponsor, proof of funds from them, para ma-prove lang na meron talagang money for your studies and yung living cost nyo in Canada.
Right, that's correct. Okay, so I have another question here from Divine. Since 6,000, Miss Jamie, yung initial payment for NLC, kailan daw yung remaining amount? Kailan siya babayaran?
On the second semester na po.
So yung 6,000 is already for the first semester.
Yes, that covers the first semester na.
Okay. We have here Sir Joseph. Yes, Sir Joseph. Ano bang may question po ba kayo? Wala siyang audio si Sir Joseph. Okay.
Yung may validity ba yung LOA, Miss Jamie? So hanggang kailan ma-hold ni student yung slot niya? Kung ano, let's say hindi kaagad nakabayad yung 6,000 Canadian dollars to secure her slot. Gaano ba katagal yung bago mag-due date or kailangan nila magbayad nung
normally 1 month. One month yung deadline from the day na na-issue yung offer letter. However, the deadline can be extended. Yun nga lang, the extension request must be submitted on a decent time. Baka kasi mag-request ng deadline, ng extension, a week after na-expire. Wala na, it doesn't make sense. Mag-request ka lang ng extension. Kung for example, you actually work on the deadline, try mo talaga siyang ma-meet, kaya lang nagka-aberya sa yung bangko mo or whatnot, natagalan, ganyan. Yun, valid reason yun to extend the deadline. Pero kung mag-request ka ng deadline a week after niya ma-expire, wala na. Ano na yun? Not possible. Not possible na extend yan. So you have to be vigilant sa deadlines.
Yes, and syempre si NLC, hino-hold lang nila yung slots ng mga students na nakapagbayad ng tuition fee. Otherwise, they can also offer that to other applicants. Actually, dahil sa sobrang dami rin na applicants na gustong mag-aral in NLC, they can't hold yung slot mo unless magbayad ka ng security, yung deposit fee of 6,000 Canadian dollars.
Yes, plus, it shows the college that you're actually serious about it. Kasi maraming nakailang deferral, nakailang extension, paulit-ulit, and not even exerting any effort to actually meet the deadline. So it's leaving, very bad impressions sa college.
Yes, that's correct. And syempre, we would want to give chance dun talaga sa serious mag-aral kasi meron talagang gustong-gustong mag-aral sa NLC. And if you are not, hindi naman pala kayo sure, so might as well na leave that spot to those who are actually interested. So Sir Francis, we have another question here about show money. Magkano ang show money if kasama si dependent?
Okay, the computation for show money, ito, i-compute mo natin yung computation for the student. Ang show money na required na laman ng bangko ni sponsor is equivalent to 1-year tuition fee. So for NLC, that's 11,000 Canadian dollars plus 10,000 Canadian dollars na living costs ni student. So that's total of 21,000 Canadian dollars. So that's around 800 to 900,000 pesos sa Philippine money. Pero kung meron kang kasama na common law partner, because one of the privileges ng isang international student is madala yung common law partner nila or dependents. Kung kasama nila yung common law partner nila or spouse, that's additional 4,000 Canadian dollars. So for NLC, 11,000 Canadian dollars plus 10,000 Canadian dollars for the student and additional 4,000. So equivalent yan sa 25,000 Canadian dollars na showman ni sponsor mo. So kung meron yung kung whole family kayo, meron kayong 1 kid. So additional 3,000 naman yan. If you have 2 kids naman, that's additional 6,000. Basta ang computation is 10,000 for the student, 4,000 for the spouse or common law partner, and each children 3,000 Canadian dollars. Yeah.
All right. So okay. I want to add also for sponsors, kailangan talaga yung show money is equivalent to 1-year tuition fee and 1-year living cost. Hindi po pwede na 6,000 Canadian dollars lang or kalahati or kasama yung tuition fee payment as part of the show money. Hindi siya ganon. Ang computation talaga is 1-year tuition fee and 1-year living cost regardless of how much you paid for the tuition. Kung 1 semester lang, kailangan pa rin yung computation ay intact doon sa bank statement ni sponsors. Otherwise, you will be refused because you don't have the financial capacity to study in Canada. So I've made a video about it sa aking YouTube channel. You can watch all about sponsors and all about show money just to give you a clear idea kung ano talaga yung show money. Kasi we cannot discuss everything here sa webinar. Otherwise, we will be finishing next week. Okay? So guys, for one-on-one consultation and program recommendation and assessment, we will be calling you next week on Monday. And yes, we do have an office in Manila. We are located in Alabang. But if you are somewhere else and you cannot access our office, and also we do not recommend having a face-to-face meeting, we can always schedule a Zoom meeting. Okay, so just wait for our call next week. We will give you program recommendation and assessment. Okay, Ms. Jamie, can I have another last question? Is ETEE AP graduate? Ano ba yung ETEE AP graduate? Waived daw ba ang IELTS sa NLC?
Ano yun? Sorry.
Yung ETEE AP para siyang yung hindi nakatapos ng college, pero kung para siyang, tawag doon, yung parang
Accelerated.
Parang ganun, parang accelerated program para makagraduate ka, makakuha ka ng degree or diploma in college, pero para kang shortcut. So, ganun siya.
I'm not gonna be the one to answer that kasi all applications are subject to admissions review. So what we can do is submit your application to them. We'll see kung wala namang application fee. So, you're not gonna pay anything. But so lang wala ring processing fee sila Catherine. So just submit your application to them. We will see. Kasi hindi ko sure. The exact rule ng IELTS waiver namin is number 1, graduate ng bachelor's degree, right? 4 years. Number 2, kailangan meron kang English subjects sa degree mo. Number 3, kailangan pasado yung mga English subjects mo. Yun yung exact. C equivalent. Ang C equivalent natin is pasang-awa, 75. Okay? So siguro naman, di ba? Pero kung di mo meet yung tatlong yun, I'm not sure if it's the admission will honor that. However, hindi ako yung final say. Admission pa din yun. So what we can do is submit your application to admission. We'll see kung tatanggapin nila. You will know naman. They'll tell you naman na pwede or hindi. Yun lang. And it's not gonna cost you any amount. So just submit it.
Okay. I'll just unmute this isang student kasi nagtatanong siya. Asan na ba to? Si Divine. We'll just give her a chance. Hello, Divine.
Hello. Good afternoon. Okay, tanong ko na lang in verbal yung question ko regarding sa program. What if graduate niya ng engineering and then ang iti-take na program sa NLC is diploma or yung mga 2 years courses? Would you think magkaka-problem kaya ito sa visa application since parang medyo nag-downgrade ka nung natapos mo sa Pilipinas?
Engineering, no? Anong klaseng engineering?
Electrical?
Oh, meron akong program na gustong i-offer sa'yo. Aircraft maintenance technician.
O kapag mga ganun, okay lang, no? Kasi
That's
parang
okay. That should be okay.
mag-i-improvise ka.
Yeah, aircraft maintenance technician should be okay. Any engineering background are highly encouraged to take that program kasi somehow relevant pa din naman siya. So majority ng mga nag-aaral namin ng aircraft maintenance engineering background din.
How about dun sa mga natapos, di ba dun sa TOR mo, meron minsan, if not exactly the same, pero medyo kawig sila. So pwede bang i-waive or hindi mo na i-take yung ibang courses since na-take mo na siya sa Pilipinas?
Credit transfer yan, no?
Yes.
No, not for, usually ang credit transferring happens if you're applying for another degree. Say nag-enroll ka for a bachelor's degree in Canada or a master's in Canada. Usually that's how the credit transfer is done. However, if you're taking a diploma program or anything that's not degree, kailangan mong i-take yung buong program. At the same time kasi, if for example lang naman, no, siguro kung hindi NLC, baka ibang college, nag-credit transfer nila, in an event na pwede yung sa ibang college, what will happen to you is yung 2 years mo na program, mababawasan yun. Baka pag na-credit yung mga program mo, maging 1.5 years na lang yung program mo. It means it might compromise your 3 years PGWP. Yun lang naman. Baka kasi instead of 3 years yung makuha mo PGWP, hindi. Baka 1.5 years lang din yung makuha mo or worse, 1 year. So might as well take the whole 2 years. Plus, if you're taking the aircraft maintenance technician, even though na-take mo na yung ibang mga subjects, iba pa din talaga yung Canadian curriculum. So I would say just take the entire program. Plus, the tuition fee is gonna be the same. So might as well just proceed with the whole thing. Please consider aircraft maintenance kasi na unang-una, napakataas ng demand. Number 2, si NLC talaga, kami yung merong program for aircraft maintenance sa buong North BC. Plus, ang aming Dawson Creek campus is Center of Excellence for Aerospace, including aircraft maintenance. So, sobrang ganda ng programs namin.
Yeah. And also, very affordable in tuition fee sa NLC compared to other colleges across Canada.
Yes, that's correct. And okay, guys, thank you so much. For those who are asking for program recommendation, we will give you a call for assessment because what we do, it's very critical for program recommendation na tama yung ma-recommend namin kasi we will be helping you with your study plan. We have to know your background, either your work experience or your education background kasi it will help us with your study plan writing. So thank you so much, guys.
Sorry, Kathy, meron akong additional dyan, no? Reiterate ko lang din kasi I'm getting a lot of applications, DIY. This is the problem with DIY. That's why I have partnership with Kanata, for example. Kasi aware sila ng mga implications ng kung anong program yung piliin ninyo. Ganito, if you enroll to NLC, ang tinitingnan lang namin is na-meet mo ba yung entry requirements or hindi. We don't care kung related relevant ba yan sa background mo or anything like that. For example, kagaya nung question ni Divine, program niya is engineering. Say nag-take siya ng ibang program na hindi yung na-recommend ka. Say nag-culinary arts. Sa standard ng college, basta na-meet mo yung entry requirements ng culinary arts, we will accept you kahit ang background mo is engineering. Okay? Ganun siya. Hindi namin ko-questionin kung wala kaming question about bakit ito yung program na napili mo. No. Ang tanong lang is, na-meet mo ba yung program requirement or yung entry requirement? If you did, then you can be accepted. However, the same cannot be said sa visa application. Yun yun. So, visa application kasi may mga ganyang questions and whatnot, which is, might compromise your visa pag mali yung program na nabili mo at walang relevant at hindi mo nasagot ng maayos yung relevance ng intended program mo sa background mo talaga. And here, si Francis and Catherine kasi, they are knowledgeable pagdating sa ganyan, sa mga loopholes ng application mo. Kaya they can help you in terms of program selection, and then they can recommend anong program yung pwede mong i-take that can also increase your chances sa visa application. Kasi marami kasing hindi nakakaalam yan. That's why very dangerous. So if I were you guys, very good, maganda yung package, no processing fee, no application fee. Just submit your application.
Actually, I want to clarify as well kasi some of our students or yung mga prospective students, they're asking if we will actually help them. So the thing, guys, is we are in partnership with NLC and they hired us to be their recruitment partner. And then babayaran lang nila kami if your application is actually successful. So
pag nandun na kayo. Pag nandun na kayo actually.
So we have to make sure that your application is successful. So we will be definitely helping you all throughout your visa application process. So you don't have to worry about it. We are very transparent. You can always contact us in our social media pages. And you will be aware of us kung asan na rin yung application process. So para na rin kayong hindi nyo na kailangan mag-DIY. It saves you effort, time.
Guided yung application. Inform kayo what are requirements na kailangan. And syempre yung timeline. Minsan, na-mention ni Jamie na si student late na pala yung visa application, nag-start na yung class, wala pang visa or hindi pa nalalodge, hindi pa rin, kahit online class, dito sa Philippines ang gagawin nyo, hindi kayo makakapag-start. So, important na guided yung application nyo for visa. And also for the school application.
Yeah, and there are also updates and announcements that are announced to agents, not to the general public. So that's one important thing. And plus, if they announce it to them and they have, the contact details and whatnot, you also get especially if your application will be affected. So they know na kasi gagawin, mag-usap kami, okay, anong gagawin natin dito, mag-apektahan yung application, we will come up with a solution or, troubleshooting agad before sa inyo makarating. Kaya, napakalaking tulong. I personally go for Kanata, to be honest, kasi I'm getting a lot of DIYs and it's very dangerous kasi marami information na hindi nila alam.
Yes, and walang magagawa ang school representative.
I can't help you guys. I can't.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Thank you, Miss Jamie. Thank you, Sir Francis. And we will contact you next week for one-on-one consultation and program recommendation. So, yes, if you also want to have a face-to-face meeting in our office and if you want to schedule a Zoom meeting as well, you can always send us a message. Thank you so much and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, everyone. Bye.